Oh, look, I got another letter.
It's been a few days, darling.
It
Who's
has
this one
been
from?
far
Even out
too
here?
long. This one is from a friend named Porterhouse.
Oh,
Let's go
Like the
ahead
food?
and... Yeah, I think so. Is a porterhouse a real thing? Like a house that you put porters in? Like a porter potty?
I think it's fancy people food. Ambrose?
Thought it was part of a cow.
I would never eat a porterhouse like that. I guess I'm not really sure.
Okay.
I'm still just confused that you got a letter way out here. Is this a regular occurrence?
Oh, sorry. Yes, it's very, very regular. Let me open it up.
One
Fascinating.
time he got one from a mushroom. It was cute.
Fascinating. Okay.
I'd forgotten
this-
about that one.
This one says, why is it called a porterhouse?
Why
Why
is
is
it
it?
called a porterhouse?
Because if it were any smaller, it would be a porter shed.
Really,
Yeah.
is just staring into the distance.
Well,
He says he's a god, but as soon as you tell a joke, he just spaces out.
I'm not certain the gods have much of a sense of humor, so that might be a tick in the god column, honestly.
Very cruel sense of humor.
Well, thank you, Porterhouse, for your letter.
Yes,
And the joke.
Thank you.
Welcome to Power Word Fail, a Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition actual play live show. Starring starring Ian.
Ambrose Bussant. And can we please get out of this place?
Nathan.
A dream. Guide through shared memories.
Austin.
Eric, teller of the sword tale.
Katie.
Idolia Rowan, bearer of the hero's light.
And Andy.
Pkelz. I have an evil man in my head.
Last
TJ.
time. TJ's not here. Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
TJ, who plays Ravenau, is not joining us this week. He is on a much-needed vacation out west. So we'll pray to the master another time. As always, I am the Dungeon Master, Cody, and this is episode 54 of Power Word Fail.
Last time on Power Word Fail, the failures reunited on the outskirts of Ordermall after their separation during the chase with the Inquisitors. Perilous and Ravenau received a slightly suspicious welcome from Adalia and Varric, but after a bit to get to know you discussion, the group settled in for a night with a plan to get back on the road in the morning and continue on their journey towards Everton. During the final watch of the night, the camp was visited by several extremely large frogs who, despite their strangeness, were apparently just hungry. While the party discussed what, if anything, to do with their new amphibian friends, a farmer named Giorgio stumbled out of the woods, who turned out to be the caretaker of the colony. After a long chat with the husbandry and conservation about the giant frogs, the failures eventually took their leave. The group had an uneventful day of travel, keeping off the main road and skirting around the only town they came across, and then settled in for another night. Around the campfire, Atreides suggested a tradition, get-to-know-you ritual, and everyone took turns telling stories of their past, containing varying levels of trauma. When it came to Pkel's turn, she shared a memory going on a trip with her family, which quickly morphed into a terrible scene of sacrifice and crystals, which Varric remembered as a story from the life of Eric the Terrible, an ancient king of great evil. Cody.
And that's pretty much where we'll pick up, yeah. You have just finished telling these stories. It is getting pretty late. would you set up camp and I suppose set up watch, rather?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ferric will
Definitely.
take a watch for sure.
All right.
I'm happy to keep vigil as well.
Same.
I don't want to watch this time.
I think you've earned rest. An uninterrupted rest, perhaps.
That doesn't exist. Yeah. I'm gonna go sit in a tree somewhere.
Not too far.
You can see my glowy stick. It's okay.
As you guys are resting, the sun is completely down at this point. You start to hear in the distance extremely disturbing howling. It sounds like a man being gutted. And then in the opposite direction, you hear a return call. And it sounds like a woman being gutted. And Atreides, you would recognize these as the mating sounds of manticores.
Great. Everyone, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but that is the mating sound of manticores.
How do you just know
great.
that?
That's
They plague the concurrent theocracy. They have for many years. Many of our military expeditions have been to quell overzealous populations of manticores that have run amok.
well, that is truly horrifying. Should we push through the night? Or
I
are
can't
they
sleep.
busy? I've never encountered a manticore before. I don't know the protocol.
Well, I suppose, Cody, you would, how much would Atreides know from his time in the military? Like, if they're screaming mating calls at each other, they're gonna be preoccupied for some amount of time, but will they be, like, looking for prey as well? And if so, like, how good is their sense of smell or their sense of tracking? Like, how much would I know about that?
You think that they would probably be doing their own thing, that they're looking for a mate, and after they find one, they will head into the mountains. But it is entirely possible that you could be attacked if some of them were to stumble upon your camp. They would have
Yeah.
to fight over you. It's like part of their rituals that if they were to come together over some sort of a hunt, that would be just as well. But theoretically, if as long as you stay out of their way, they should stay out of yours.
Okay, well, I'll relay that. As long as we keep careful watch, get what sleep you can, they will likely leave us alone lest they chance upon us.
DM, could I record the sounds of one of the meeting calls?
Oh no.
Yeah, what are you thinking for like some sort of illusion or
Yeah, I'm gonna use my magical tinkering and just include like a guttural yell, which sounds like a human, and just keep that saved in my pocket.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, it's clear as crystal. Like you hear it just back and forth like
No one sees this, and I just put it.
Great. That's
Never
not
done it before.
concerning at all.
you listen for a while into the night. I already rolled out the rest of the theoretical nighttime encounters, and they howl and scream for 2/3 of the night.
Are they getting closer at all?
They sound like they're getting further away from you, but closer to each other.
Okay.
Like one was coming from the east, one was coming from the west. Now they're both heading north towards the mountains. But they're getting very in sync and close to each other. And very early morning, for anyone who is able to sleep through all the howling, it starts getting very quiet. The manticores have either gone so far away that you can't hear them at this point, or they found each other and are doing their thing. But you can rest easy the rest of the night.
Nice.
In the morning, everything is overcast. The winds are still whipping by at a pretty fast speed. The clouds are getting pretty thick. It looks like it could rain or storm. It's really hard to say.
I do not have any read on the weather, really. Does anybody know anything that can help kind of clear the skies for us?
I can try. I've only read a book once. I don't really know much, but can I tell like smelling the air if if it's gonna rain soon or anything?
Yeah, roll like a survival or
Is my bones aching?
Well, Adalia
Onions.
could step forward and just hold her hands out, and some light crackles in them, and she will cast Druidcraft, which allows. Hang on. Da-da-da-da-da. I feel like that allows. Maybe not. Maybe she doesn't do that because I thought.
I could have swore it did somewhere.
Yeah,
It said
no.
something
Yeah, it
about the
does. You
weather.
create a tiny, harmless sensory effect that predicts what the weather will be at your location for the next 24 hours.
Oh, nice.
So she
yeah,
gives a.
You give the weather report, and you are positive that in the next 24 hours, it's going to start storming.
Nice.
Also, Rokaya, you're so full of tricks.
Thank you, darling. I like to keep everyone on their toes. So, I think that normally this power doesn't manifest in a way that predicts a storm unless it is a big one. So we should consider possibly taking some sort of shelter, perhaps? I'm not
These
sure how...
hills, it's difficult because if you're on the top of the hills, then you're exposed to the elements. But if you're down in the valleys or you're in a cave, then you're exposed to the risk of flash floods.
Great.
So perhaps we should find a small town, a settlement.
Well, we were hoping to avoid small towns given that all of us are wanted for various reasons.
We can try to find a cave.
Well, perhaps we should get moving either way and see what comes. Make a
Stick
decision.
to flatlands as best as we can, yes.
I will remind you that fording a river was at some point a concession today. Like you're probably going to do that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm.
And Adalia has prepped water walk once again.
Oh, nice.
Very nice.
I got you.
At points throughout the day, if we take time, I can also divine whether certain courses of action might be wise or foolish, such as taking shelter in a cave, whether we're likely to drown via flash flood, or
Oh,
just simply be safe.
all right. I suppose we should get moving then.
Better than just staying here.
I agree. Atreides packs up his bread pot, bread jar, and all of that.
Very nice. So you pick up camp real quick and head out. It is... Let me double check here.
It's like 7.2 feet to the river.
Right. It's about 2/4 of your day to the river.
Okay.
as you travel, it starts to rain right as you get into the thick of the forest. There's like a forested area that's starting to encroach upon the trail. It is very overgrown. The trail seems, or the road seems like it is becoming more of a trail. It is less maintained. The trailies, you would know that there's just not much up here, so they don't really do much. The people of Everton ask for very little from the capital.
Yep.
So there's just not much need to come up this way. So it is fairly overgrown. The forest is starting to envelop it, where you can tell it was once a little bit more maintained and manicured. You eventually do make it to a very well put together bridge. Maybe a little bit disrepair, but it looks like it's solid. It's made by the Theocracy. It's all stone. It's like a half ramp plane bridge, so it's like, like it goes up and then it planes out and then it goes back down to a ramp. And then at the bottom you see that it's got arches with pillars held up over the river there. The river is starting to surge a little bit, and it does look rather wet.
Well, with your magic, Adalia, do you feel confident that we can ford this river without trouble?
I mean, yes, I think we should be all right, but I've never used it in a storm setting. Not sure how that would affect things. I think it should be fine. The spell grants the ability to move across any liquid surface such as water, acid, mud, snow, quicksand, or lava as if it were a harmless solid ground. So I think that should be fine, even if it's choppy. Just be like one of those, you ever go to a haunted house that has the like uneven flooring?
Right,
I'm assuming
right,
it would
yes.
be like that.
Right, or like a conveyor belt.
If we
Very
are
well.
fast enough, we can run on the rain. Pretty sure.
Well, now.
You know,
Yeah, that.
in less trying circumstances, perhaps we could take a day or two and, play around with it a bit, but do you think
Is there
we
a
should?
reason we're not just going to go across the bridge?
That's what I was going to ask. Should we?
Oh well, certainly, but I'm worried
Try?
that as we do, there's a surge that hits us. I want to have a plan in place. But yes, let's start with the bridge and just be prepared. In
You think
case
there's
it,
a troll under it?
Hey!
in this weather?
Are there
Oh no.
trolls
Is there
here?
water trolls? I don't.
Is
Cody-
there a troll? Hello?
You get no answer from the troll under the bridge. You do
No
see
troll.
him quickly retract.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
I'm joking.
He's just shy. It's okay.
You
We
think
won't
for a
witness.
second you may see a troll, but it's just a figment of your imagination. It's just a
How
stump.
how high above the water is this bridge?
Good question. I would say it's probably at its low point, maybe 50 feet. But right
Oh.
now it's about 20. You can
Okay.
tell that this river varies in depth quite a bit as it flows from the rainy season.
Here's an idea. I can cast this spell as a ritual and it lasts an hour. There's no reason I couldn't cast it before we went on the bridge, and should the worst happen, then we fall 20 feet to solid ground.
I believe that's
That's a good
prudent.
idea.
Nathan, were you casting augury or were you just posting?
No, I was preparing to if
Oh,
needed,
okay.
but I don't think that we need to in this situation.
Excellent. Okay. Just double checking.
Yeah, I misclicked.
All right. Does anyone have like a land vehicles skill?
I believe I
Rich, a land vehicle?
I do. Holy shit.
You guys still have the cart and the horses, correct?
Oh,
Right.
yes,
Yeah.
we do have the
Yes,
cart.
I am
Oh my
proficient in
God.
land vehicles.
Pkelz, do you want to take the reins? I mean, Atreides, do you want to help if you are proficient as well?
I might have been mistaken. I'm not seeing that anywhere on my character sheet. So
Mm.
Who would have thought it was Pkelz?
Actually, that makes a lot of sense to me.
I've been
Like,
driving
really
the cart
drive.
this whole time.
Yeah.
right, she
It's
knew to take
literally
the wagon
just me.
wheel. Yeah.
She's the getaway car for her
Yeah.
mom family.
yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So Pkelz, I guess hit me with that roll. It'd probably be a dex focused thing.
Okay.
Unless you can come up with a good reason why it'd be strength. Maybe.
Brute forcing my way.
Literally wrestle the horses into place.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a 12 with dex.
Alright.
6 of us and 4 horses. Okay, so Adalia takes 10 minutes to cast Water Walk as a ritual. And includes all 6 of us and all 4 horses. So
Perfect.
if the horses fall, they should also be fine. But someone should
True.
look out for the cart.
Nice.
I don't know. Have you seen a horse fall 20 feet?
You're right.
Right.
They ever played Red Dead 2?
Yeah,
That's,
dead horses.
Going straight to the glue factory.
Yep.
Right.
Except Strudel. I feel like
Strudel's like,
Strudel would.
I'm okay.
Strudel will just turn into a bird and fly away.
Yeah.
Right.
Alright. So yeah, Pkelz, you're going across the bridge. You drive up the ramp. Everything seems pretty stable. You ride past a little bit of a loose stone and some of it falls off the ledge. The horses get a little bit spooked as you are able to
Shut the fuck up.
guide them correctly. You come to the other end of the bridge and you see a man. He is sitting just over the rail there. Like you couldn't see him as you were coming over, but once you get down the ramp, you see a guy laying there kind of in the middle of the road. He's kind of sitting there with his back turned to you. He's not.
Hey, buddy.
He turns.
Yeah. Are you the troll?
Huh? No. Troll?
What? Yeah, the troll from under the bridge. Why are you at the end of the bridge?
I'm just kind of depressed.
Oh,
No.
Sounds bad.
you're a depressed troll? What? What? Why? Why are you here? In the middle
Well,
of nowhere.
I came out here to slay a monster, but now it seems rather foolhardy.
What sort of monster? Why would it be foolhardy?
Well, I was trying to prove myself. I was trying to show everyone that I'm a man and that I should be considered equal to the other warriors. My name's Scamandius, by the way. Nice to meet you.
One of my
Hey.
ideas.
Scamandius.
So, why is it foolhardy?
Because I can't win. I got in over
Well-
my head, and now I'm sitting here at this bridge thinking, like, do I go back?
How do you know that you cannot win?
I went to the cave and went in, and I truly tried to fight the first beast that I encountered, but it bested me, and that's how I got this scar here. And he holds up his arm, and he's got like a bandage, and he's like, and yeah, I don't know. I don't think I got it in me, guys.
Nonsense. Strapping man like you. About how old is he?
He looks like he's like 30.
Okay.
He's
Strapping young
bald.
man like you.
He has no beard.
Okay.
Do I get the impression that this is just some guy who...
Yeah, he seems like he's just
just
some
a
guy.
dude?
You could give me an
Like-
insight check, maybe, or
Okay. He's not...
Hmm.
That's a 25.
Nice.
he doesn't seem as depressed as he's making it out to be,
Okay.
and his bandage is not bloody.
Sir, I'm something of a healer. Could I take a look at your wound?
Yeah, but it's already closed up.
Really? How recently were you hurt?
Maybe a day ago. I drank one of my potions.
Oh, you drank a potion.
Oh.
Listen,
Well-
you should probably just go home. I mean, you could just say you slayed the monster. I mean, what does it even really matter?
Well,
Might
you
just
have
be
to
too old for
find
this.
out.
You could just go home.
What's the
Don't you
monster?
have like a family or something?
Listen.
Not really.
If you believe in yourself, I believe that you can slay this monster. Now, I'm willing to extend a sliver of my divinity to you if you feel that that would benefit you.
His eyes peek up. He's kind of a squinty fellow, and his eyes peek up and he says, "What is that supposed to mean?"
Well, when you were fighting this monster, did you feel that you couldn't overcome it for lack of being able to hurt it, or for fear that it would hurt you too severely?
Maybe a little column A, a little column B.
Well, I can.
Definitely was about to crap my pants. But,
Right.
you know, I'm not sure that I could even get close enough. He holds up a short sword.
Who are you? Like, what have you done with the rest of your life that, like, this is just now what you're deciding to do?
He shakes his head and he's like, "Yeah, I've lived a pretty fruitless life. I spent a lot of time at the bar. I spent a lot of time trying to get ahead, but it got me nowhere. And now
And
I'm
you
here."
just woke up and went, I'm gonna go stab something?
Well, there's this oncoming war, you see. Everyone's talking about it, and I thought maybe if I could become a soldier, that would increase my standing. And
No.
then I could
No,
go home
no,
a
no.
hero of the war. But the
No,
only way
no,
to
no.
join the army is to do something heroic. And yeah, I tried.
Adon is going to try to look at this guy's wound.
Okay. He'll hold his
Even
arm
though-
out.
Okay.
Hmm.
So,
Do you want to
Is
roll
there-
like a medicine check?
medicine check? Yeah, I'm just really missing a character in another game I play who has telepathy because I really wish I could talk to you guys about it. Something is wrong. Hang on. Okay. Medicine. Ugh, terrible. 7.
He does have some kind of a scar, but it's hard to say. Like, you know, magic healing can act pretty quickly. You know, you've done it a lot. Usually it does cure scarring, but if it's really bad, it won't.
What did this to you?
Oh man, there's these monsters. They roam the countryside. They're called Pkelz. And they dig. And there is a very large one. It is a patriarch of its little clan. It lives alone because it's near death. It's old. I can't even kill an old Pkelz. But it crawled into some of the master's ruins and people can no longer go there on pilgrimage. So I took it upon myself. And now I guess I'm going to go back and tell them that I couldn't do it.
You should
No,
go home.
listen, friend Scamandius. I believe that you have this within you, and I believe that if you accept my power, you will be able to vanquish this creature.
You're going to die.
I apologize for my friends who have no faith in you and your might.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I have faith. I have faith that you're not as much of a loser as you say you are. Right. Okay. But I think that there is a much better plan for you to prove yourself and contribute to the ongoing war with you. Whatever, right?
You read
I
a
will
book.
just give you 50 gold right now. Go buy a hammer, go buy an anvil, and become a blacksmith. The war is going to need weapons. You can prove your worth and make a living. You just slam hot metal all day. And you'll be
He
good.
looks at you guys.
We
"You'd do that
know
for
some
me?
gnomes.
Ooh.
You'd give me so much wealth?
I mean, it would be a big gold chunk. It wouldn't be coins, it would just be like a big gold chunk, if that's okay.
He shrugs. He's like, yeah, I guess that'd work. I guess I could make something up and say I found it.
Yeah.
And that could be heroic.
Yeah.
Yes. Loot from, the horde of some sort of monster that you slayed. How heroic.
People are going to think you're a thief.
Do not claim to slay a monster that you have not slain. That
Lying.
lacks integrity, friend.
Do I just
The
say I found it by the river? Do I say you guys gave it to me?
Go
The
back and slay the
monster-
monster. Please take some of my power.
monster was depression. You slayed depression, you got some gold.
I mean,
Could I
I'll
have some
accept
gold?
any and all gifts. I am not too humble to be helped.
Atreides would walk forward and lay his hand on Scamandius' shoulder. And wrong button, sorry.
Mhm.
Cast Enhance Ability. Giving him temporary hit points. 7 temporary hit points.
You just
The next.
doubled this man's age.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, right.
He is a god now, as far as he's concerned.
No, literally.
And then I glance back at everyone else. Can we spend an hour on this man? I can give him more power if we take more time.
Let us get off the bridge first, I
Can we
think.
leave?
Why don't we
And
just
then
send
we
them to the
can-
gnomes? They had like classes and shit.
Right.
Oh, that sounds interesting. Some sort
Yeah,
of
you have to.
education path.
Right?
A vocation.
While they're having this discussion, can I look around and see if there's something else going on that this guy's like a distraction for?
We're
Like-
so suspicious of Scamandius. The sad
The sad man with a
with
bandage
your-
on an injury that doesn't have anything, that isn't bleeding, and who's not as depressed as he says he is.
Right. With your insight 25, you do see a little small camp near the wood line where he clearly he's been here a day or two, maybe. Been here a while.
Oh my.
I would say, Katie, with Adalia's high wisdom, she would
Mhm.
also be aware that Atreides is equally aware that he's lying through his teeth, but wants to kind of impress upon him the power of Atreides.
Okay.
He is really excited by you guys stopping and helping him and all that stuff, and he says, well, hey, if you guys want, why don't you guys come with me?
No.
Why
No,
not?
nah.
You
You're a
seem to
troll
have
under a
lot of
bridge.
time
I
on your
don't-
hands.
This man is not a
You're-
troll.
Well, first of all,
What
Bulets
do you
are
mean? He literally fits the
powerful
description.
creatures.
He nods. He's like, I know. That's why I'm kind of scared to go by myself.
Like,
But you guys seem really interested in helping.
Well, I would be willing, but we're a democratically run group, and I'm newest to join, so I will do what the party wishes. But I would impress upon you the urgency of your power. My gift to you will not last forever.
Somebody should probably tell Ambrose that this is a democratic group.
What does that mean?
You know,
Democratic. It's from the Celestial Demos
no,
and Prato.
okay. All right, why don't we get off the bridge? Like, it's still storming, or still raining, right?
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
Yeah.
let's go off the
And
bridge.
let me check something.
So
It's
maybe it's
gotten
just-
worse.
Wiped
Right.
up by a big wave. He's
Yeah.
gone. He's never back.
Hey,
We're standing here, like,
his
discussing
pain is
the...
over.
The rain has gotten worse since you've started talking.
Yeah. You know, why don't we get off of the bridge? We can discuss this in a less exposed area, perhaps.
I mouth the words to Ferric. Can we leave? Can we go?
Yeah, Ferric kind of does some hand signals, trying to do some sort of communication, and then just shrugs and starts riding forward.
Mhm.
And catches up with Ambrose and is just I am not going to just fight some monsters. I'm not losing anybody else to some random thing in the cave. I'm
Right.
sick of caves.
This is
Um,
a crazy request from a stranger. Hey, do you want to go fight a powerful creature?
And
with
of
me.
course, the
You
last
should depressed.
time we did that was Marcus. And we lost someone there. So perhaps we shouldn't do that anymore. Random monsters. Did this guy react at all to the fact that Atreides cast a spell on him?
He seems really
Here.
happy. He's really excited. He's got a lot of energy.
So why don't we take you back to your camp so you can begin either preparing for battle or preparing to return home? And we'll wait for you right over here while you make your decision.
He nods. Says, were you guys gonna give me that gold then that we talked about?
Oh yeah, just give me 10 minutes or something. And Ferric is gonna cast heat metal and start rubbing some gold coins together to try to get a mound of them,
Wow.
because I only have Mornstead coin.
currency. Yeah.
So
So you're
I'm
trying to
I'm
make a weird ingot?
yeah, like a hand ingot.
You use a bread
It's really
pan
modern
to
art.
fill it in.
Wow.
Kind
Like balloon animals. Coins.
Well,
of.
he says, I feel like I gotta repay you guys somehow. And I know you say you don't want to go, but I'm gonna go ahead and tell you where it's at anyway. There's a Temple of the Master in the northern part of the mountains from here, just on the western side of the river. Maybe a day from here. I'm just gonna take the gold and go home and say I found it, and that's gonna be my story.
And you found it after being bolstered by the magic of Atreides, God among men.
I mean, technically that's true.
Then you have my blessing.
What do you mean by technically that's true? That is what's true.
Well,
Do
I
you
don't
really
think
want
his
to put your
blessing
name out
helped at
there?
all.
Aren't you wanted? Is it do we want to really send the guy out and be like, hey, this
Well, as long
wanted
as I avoid
guy.
towns.
You guys are
As long as I
wanted?
avoid towns.
No.
Yes.
He kind of looks to his left and he's like, between you and me, I think that's cool.
Good.
You guys are like heroes, right?
No.
Then
No.
you'll
I'm
want
a
to
god.
help me with this.
No.
Wait, what?
That's where the manticores were.
I believe that you have it within you, if you would really try. Scamandia is just believe in yourself, believe in me. my power will see you through.
My power too.
All
Yes,
of our
Pkelz'
power,
power as
really.
well. Yes,
It's not my power.
Well,
most
I
of our
don't
power.
think I'm gonna be able to do anything about it. I'm gonna be honest with you guys.
You should go
I'm
home.
just gonna go home.
Where's home, by the way?
Well, there's this pretty small village back that way. I come from it.
Frogtown.
Rocktown.
Commandius, just
Why do you call it
remember
Frog
that
There's frogs.
Do you
Lots of
know
frogs.
Giorgio then?
Oh yeah, that guy. Is that why you call it Frogtown? Because you already ran into Frogman?
Yes.
Yes.
He kind of laughs and says, "Well, he's a good guy."
seems
He
like it.
seemed like
I liked him.
Yes.
Can we go, guys?
Me and him are like best friends.
Oh, excellent.
Maybe you should bring him on your adventure. You got money now.
And
Yeah,
an
you can
army
hire,
of frogs, really.
Yeah.
Then, yeah, he likes to stay local because of that kind of stuff.
But you can
Well-
adventure with the frogs.
True.
You get the vibe that he does know him, but he
But
doesn't
not well.
know him that well.
Just a compulsive liar, our new friend. All right. Well, safe journeys. Get in out of this storm as quickly as possible. Perhaps don't, hang about on bridges too often. I feel like,
There's a
that might
stigma.
always, yeah.
You don't want to be
The
seen
bridge
as a
guy.
troll.
You
Yeah,
know,
the bridge
like,
guy.
You
He's a
already,
troll.
you
The guy that
already
loves
have
bridges.
the frog guy. You don't want to be the bridge guy. Then you're sort of trapped in your branding, So perhaps don't do that anymore.
Oh,
I didn't realize there was so much stigma attached to bridges.
Yeah.
You guys
Or
Or
seem
you
pretty
could just
worried.
start running the bridge and charge a toll for people who will go across it.
as a bandit.
That is, well, actually, that's where the term troll comes from. It's from the celestial toll for charging unnecessary taxes on bridges.
Oh goodness.
Well, then you can maintain the bridge and make it really nice with the money, and you could just be like an integral part of this area.
You made up a problem. And now there's no reason for this.
Isn't that extortion? Isn't that the whole?
That's
That's
literally
the
extortion.
definition, right?
There was rocks falling off the bridge. It needs repair. I'm just trying to give the guy a job.
Yeah, not a lot of people come this way.
See?
Slay the monster while you have extra health.
Oh, can I see your sword, by the way?
Yeah, he lets you see it.
I take it
It's
and look
pretty
at it.
nice.
Is it magical?
Do you want to use detect magic?
I will.
Yeah, I'll cast detect magic on.
Oh, you got it.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to
Does have a
detect
magical
magic.
sword.
Yeah.
What kind of magic?
And magic.
What kind of
armor.
magic?
And magic armor.
Oh.
Damn it.
Hmm. I may have miscalculated.
Did you cast that in the open?
But I changed my lenses, so
Yes.
So
So he doesn't
Yeah.
necessarily know what that's. all
yeah,
about.
it's like a little but I just look at it. Spy Kids 3, and then give it back to him. You never fought a creature before, like a monster?
Let's see. Transmutation magic.
He is a troll.
Mm.
You are looking at the sword and you see the what is that called? Like a stamp, the signature
Mhm.
of a blacksmith that you have heard of from Vilvanus, who lives in Everton. He sold Vilvanus a dragon skeleton.
Mm.
He is a rare goods dealer and blacksmith.
One more
And
second.
you've seen his little symbol before on your gloves, actually. Your gloves are also made by the same guy. His armor looks like it's from the Theocracy, but it's also enchanted with transmutation magic.
It's changed one of my lenses again. I cast Identify on it.
It's a +1 sword and +1 armor.
I don't know. Even with this, if you never fought before, all the best equipment in the world is not going to save you.
Yeah, I guess I'll just probably just head home then. Can I have that gold?
Can I have that armor?
No, this is a family heirloom. I can't possibly part with it.
Yeah, then you can't have the gold. I'm just gonna start driving the cart.
So,
Get out
before
of
you
here.
go,
Stupid
do
troll.
you come from a family of warriors then?
Oh yeah, that's why it's so embarrassing that I'm not one.
Right. What would we have heard of the deeds of your family?
Probably not. We're just locals. Manticore slayers mostly.
You don't have to
Nothing.
follow your family steps. You can make your own decisions. Don't kill that monster, because it's going to kill you. And Ambrose just walks away from this whole conversation and starts tracking with Pkelz.
He looks at you, Ferric. He's like, "Can I please have that gold?"
Yeah, 1 second.
While Ferric is finishing that, Atreides will just say to, what is it, Scamandius, well, if you choose not to fight, friend, then remember, the Temple of the Master holds monsters and death. The Road of Atreides holds life. And then Atreides will walk away.
It looks like a big glimmering piece of fecal matter. Like it looks
A
like
polished
someone
turd.
did in fact polish a turd. And it
gold
is
leaf.
glittering gold.
Mhm.
And Ferric is going to present it as proud as a 3-year-old giving you a pine cone. Just very excited about this like big gold chunk that they just made, and is going to hand it to Scamandius.
He has a weird look on his face when you hand him the golden shit, but he takes it. He says, "Yeah, this is gonna change my life, friends. Thank you so much." He's like, "I don't have to do any of these hardships anymore. I don't have to be judged for being a warrior when I'm wealthy like this, right?"
Really?
Thank you. And he kind of like starts picking up his cam, like he's gonna head back into town, but he also is kind of really lagging behind, like he's like not doing it very fast. He's like waiting for you guys to leave.
Do you know how to make more money off of that gold?
No, not really, but I feel like this ought to last me a lifetime.
Well, see, what you do is you tell everybody you found this wonderful gold, and then you start drawing maps to here at this location, and then you sell the maps, and you could just make more money.
That's a good idea.
It's a great idea, and I'm giving it to you for free.
Okay, thanks.
All right,
Wow.
let's get the fuck out of here.
Yes.
He looks
And-
like he's like really thinking about that one.
Ferric will like buckle forward and like slap the reins of the horse and just start charging forth.
As you guys move off, it starts thundering and lightning. It just starts really pouring. It is turning into a full-on storm. The wind is really whipping your cloaks and whatnot around you.
Love storms.
Mm.
Symbolize the inner turmoil of every person's soul.
Sure.
I turned to
It hits a
Ferret.
little too close to
Yeah,
home right now.
fair. Like eyes Ambrose.
No word said, but we both know exactly what we're thinking.
Should we
All right.
camp? Should we keep going?
Well, I was just gonna ask if I could roll survival to see if I can find like a cave or something that we could take
Oh,
shelter
what time of
in.
day is it? I thought it was only like noon.
Yeah,
I don't know
you
how
spent
long we traveled.
the first. Double check here.
I was thinking more just to wait out the worst of the storm.
Oh, sure.
You've got another 4 hours of travel time before it would be dark. It is already kind of dark right now because of the storm. It's like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock after you get done talking to Scamandius.
But it is storming, and if we like keep riding with this wagon, there's a chance that it'll get stuck in the mud or something like that.
Mm.
Or a flash flood or
Or
anything else
flood,
that
yeah.
Adrales was talking about earlier.
By lightning.
Or hit by lightning. Can I roll
Absolutely.
survival?
Go ahead and give me a roll.
14.
All right. You don't find any place that's like amazing, but you definitely find a place where you think you could park the car. It won't sink into the mud overnight. It's fairly rocky, so you know it's not like going anywhere. And there's a slight protection as you are about to leave the forest line where it is overgrown. You can see into the distance. It becomes much more of a plains, and there's a lot less trees as you move forward. So you find a space that's somewhat protected. I mean, it's still drippy, but you're protected by the canopy, and it is dispersed enough to where it's comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Do we just wait it out here?
Unless someone has a better idea, I worry we are risking some sort of disaster if we attempt to stay on the road.
I agree. I'm gonna try to look at the carriage, look for any issues, cast mending to fix it. If there's any spots that need to be repaired.
I've taken
Nice.
immaculate care of my cart, okay?
It is
Right.
very well taken care of.
Thank
You
you.
do see a spot where the wheel is a little bit loose from the
Oh.
last time you glued it back together, and where
It's
the
your fault.
rock fell apart. It's a little bit of the bridge's fault, but you can tell it was like already kind of a weak spot.
Mm-hmm.
But you can
Yeah, I,
easily
like,
repair it.
Reinforce that, yeah.
Could I... Adalia's gonna kind of wander out of whatever little shelter we've been able to conjure, and just kind of look up at the canopy a little bit, and then kind of put her arms down, and green light starts coursing through her tattoos, and I'm gonna cast plant growth.
Okay.
If you use... Here, I will actually cast it instead of reading it to you. How about that, baby?
I'm pretty familiar with the spell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So causing all the plants in a 100-foot radius to become really overgrown. And I'm going to leave a path out of it, but essentially just really overgrow this part and try to keep it as protected from the elements as I can while we
That's
wait
a
it
really
out.
creative use of that. And
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You create like a little woodland.
Yeah, I want to create like a little woodland,
Like an
Yeah.
igloo.
like an igloo out of plants, essentially.
Yeah, it does the trick perfectly. After a while, some like animals kind of come in here with you. There's like some squirrels and birds and whatnot.
Beric, don't.
They're practically begging to crawl
No.
down my gullet.
It's
They look at you with like innocence. They have no idea.
Yeah,
It's
get
not-
out of here.
It's not sporting, darling, if you shoot them while they're seeking shelter.
I'm not doing this for sport. I'm doing it for sustenance.
You know what? And I'll cast Goodberry and here, sustenance.
Eric angrily eats a good berry. You're very tasty.
One of the squirrels kind of walks up and kind of looks expectantly at a good berry.
Oh, I'll give the squirrel a good berry. Are you kidding me? Of course the squirrel can have a good berry.
It
Wow, you're
runs
gonna
off.
attract all of them.
You're
It
a
runs off
very
with the
talented
kids.
caster, Dahlia.
Oh, thank you. Mostly for practical purposes.
You know, one of
Well,
these
so I
days
can
we're
see
gonna
that-
give a good berry to a squirrel, and it's gonna start talking at us.
I mean, it's both practical and beautiful.
Thank you.
I look
And
up
for a
at her.
minute, Adalia's like genuinely touched because people don't, it's not a compliment she's received very often, but then she remembers how ridiculous the Traileys is about being a god, and she's like, okay. And she'll go over and hang out with the squirrels for a while.
Very nice.
Eventually, Ferric will warm up to the squirrels and cast Animal Friendship.
Yay!
Wow.
So
I've never seen
excited!
this spell.
And just hang out with these
Hang out with
ding-dang
the
squirrels.
Squirrels. Adalia is so pleased. She kisses Ferric on the cheek.
Ferric is a little self-satisfied.
There you go. I imagine similar watches as last time. Everything goes by pretty peacefully.
Oh, I'm sorry.
until
While we're waiting, I'd love to find some clay in the soil, especially since it's so muddy, or
Yeah.
backtrack to the river briefly if I need to, and be working on a cup, just while we're hanging out.
roll a perception check while you're backtracking looking for clay.
Okay. That is a 25.
Nice.
Nice.
Very nice.
You see Scamandius.
Does he see me?
No.
Okay, then I'll leave him be.
He is also waiting under a half, not totally drenched spot, but he's just sitting on a stump.
Fucking guy.
I don't think I'd actually leave him be.
No, you wouldn't.
We don't-
No, you
Of course you
You're
would.
picking up clay, you're looking
No.
at him.
Yeah,
Go back to picking up clay, you're looking
up
at
to
him.
you, Cody, if we go through this or not, but I'm just gonna keep hammering home that the Atreides and not the Master was the one that gave him power.
If you approach him, he looks completely flabbergasted. He's like,
You can go home.
It's good to see you again. I didn't expect to see you again so soon.
Listen, Scamandius, you do not need to live a life of deception or beggary. You're a talented person. You can do many things with your life, but stop lurking in the forest for free hand-me-outs. There's better ways to live life. Live into your true potential.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to Everton instead of back home. I just feel like I can't face him.
You know, the road that you walk is your choice. Just walk it. Don't sit under a tree by its side and let your life pass, wondering where it might have led you.
He nods. He seems to be taking in your wisdom.
I will cast Enhance Ability on him again. Just to send the point home. And then, as I return, I'm gonna try to be sure that he's not following me back to camp.
Okay. Yeah, he watches you pretty closely. You see that he's watching you as you walk off, but he doesn't seem to follow you. He's sitting on that stump.
Okay.
In the shelter.
Back in the shelter.
Back in the shelter. Is Ravino in there? Or did he go off with Atreides to,
I imagine he
proselytize?
probably stayed back, but I don't know if he has much to say. He's just quiet.
Yeah, well, I kind of wanted to have a conversation where he couldn't hear us. I'll kind of gather Ambrose and Ferric to, like, one part of the shelter. I think we might need to talk about the story Pkelz told the other night.
We've got a lot on our plate.
I know we sort of have a habit of bottling things up or shoving them aside until, a time when it becomes extremely urgent to talk about it, and I'd sort of like to get ahead of this one.
Where's Pkelz in this conversation?
Pkelz is there! No, I didn't want Ravina in on this.
Everyone
So
You did not list Pkelz in your list of people to pull over.
Sorry.
No,
I
I thought we were
I was
having
like-
this.
No.
We need to talk about
I'm
Pkelz.
so sorry. We don't need to talk about Pkelz. Pkelz is in the conversation. I just don't want Ravino in the conversation, preferably. I'm hoping he's being, like,
Just leaving me at
sad
the corner.
sad and broody, like, on the other side of the shelter.
Yeah, he'll sit there sharpening his blade.
Sure. So,
Or cleaning his armor.
Pkelz
polishing
was
his
there
shield.
for that entire thing. I didn't mean to leave you off the list.
So, Pkelz, how do you feel about it?
I mean, in the moment, it felt really cool because I was the dude, so I was really excited, and I was also a little scared, and then, like, felt super accomplished when everything blew up. Now I don't feel so good about it because it wasn't me, but, like, there's still those feelings there that it was, like, super cool, so it's, I don't know. Kind of cool, though. But also really sad.
All we have are hypotheses.
Right.
All we have are ideas. I feel like we need to meet with someone much smarter than us.
Probably.
To the
Book
library.
smart, not necessary, like smart like you're smart, but smart that like reads a lot of books.
Right.
Cody,
Godboy has the knowledge.
can I make a roll to see if I've seen a picture of the wizard that I saw? Like, anywhere in our time? Like, did I recognize his face from anything other than that memory?
Yeah, I mean, you saw the scrying that Adalia did on Kelvin, correct?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think you would remember seeing that portrait. Although
so
he
it
looked
was
significantly older in the portrait. But he had similar clothes.
Okay.
And a similar haircut. Long hair, long beard, big pointy black hat that's like slouched over, long black robes. He has a big book, and in the portrait he's holding the book like over his heart.
So he's like a capital W wizard.
Mm.
In the portrait
guys-
he looks very old. In your memory he looks middle age.
Gotcha. So you guys remember the weird old dude with the hat on Kelvin's wall?
Yeah.
That was the dude in the memory, but, like, a lot older.
All right.
Just to
So-
confirm. Also, have we considered, like, he, like, in the memory, he collected the crystals to make everything go boom, right?
Right.
And Tarsinian's collecting crystals.
to potentially make everything
To make
go
something go boom. Do we think that, there's a connection like the master and the fucking dude in the hat?
100%.
Okay.
I think that's reasonable. I don't know if we have anything concrete to tie them together other than using the same weapon.
I think Tarsinian stating that the master is going to destroy everything, including the gods, and he needs to collect the crystals is proof enough.
Maybe that's why I got along with Tarsian, because of the little evil man in my head.
Is that what you feel like is going on? Do you feel like you have a little evil man in your head?
I don't know what I feel, but, obviously something's there, so why not a little evil man?
Ferric
little man
takes one of
attracted?
Pkel's ears and is licking inside.
You see a little evil man. He's dancing around.
Oh shit, he's in there!
I told you. But here tap dancing every night. It's weird.
There's nothing in Pkel's ear.
What did you say, Ambrose? You said something. And we got
It
distracted.
wasn't important.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you hear voices at all?
I mean, I hear you talking right now.
No, the little man voice. Or not voices, but feelings.
No. I don't. How do I know what feelings are my feelings and what feelings might be the little evil man?
Well,
Well,
your
that's good.
feelings are hates Eugene.
I don't hate Eugene. Does the little evil man hate Eugene?
Pkelz doesn't hate you, by the way, Maras.
Doesn't.
I say that under my breath.
Your feelings are smash things, love to paint,
Pretty boys.
pretty boys.
Okay.
Evil little man in your head would be like, collect the crystals and smash the world, make it terrible and awful all the time.
So I want to smash things, but he also wants to smash things.
Well, you want to smash
Make
things
things go-
on a much more manageable,
Okay.
non-crystal scale, and
Okay.
if you have any compulsions to, say, destroy the world, or anything like that, I imagine those would be little evil man
I
voices.
don't, but if I do, I will tell you.
Tell us, please. I feel like we leave a lot of things unsaid or have in the past. And I feel like it hasn't served us very well. So, if you feel the urge to smash anyone or anything that isn't a direct threat to someone you care about, those probably aren't your feelings, because the Pkelz we knew only smashed in very specific contexts.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in your head, you should play a game called Smash or Pass. If it's something that Pkelz would smash, you smash it. And if it's something that the evil man would smash, you pass it. Right? You pass that information on to us.
Right.
So when you are in a pickle,
We're talking about the definition of smash with actually breaking things, right?
Yes.
Okay.
In this context, yes.
I don't know what the little evil man's preferences are. Maybe they're similar to mine. I don't.
Impossible to know, really.
Okay. I will regularly play Smash or Pass with everything.
all right, thank you.
DM. Through my experiences of studying and reading tons of books, I'm wondering if there's something I came across of reading where you can put someone through a form of psychosis through drugs or a poison to have them more spiritual events.
Pass.
Let's see. I mean, not off the top of my head. I mean, there's
Essentially, do I know any drugs or poisons that can make someone trip?
You would recall that Ferric had told
Ferric
you
does.
in the library that
Mhm.
we would the kiln imbibe before they go into the library to like study.
Eric, do you still have those ceremonial, traditional drugs?
What kind of traditional ceremony? Are you looking to get married? Are you looking to
Are you
go-
getting married? Because I
Andres, who
think
did you
I
fall in
know
love
how to
with?
do that.
No,
What?
I'm not getting married.
I'm pretty sure I can marry people now because of the hero's light. So, if
Yeah,
anyone
you're
feels like
ordained.
getting married.
You just
I
made
want to
that
get
up.
married. I don't know
No,
who.
I'm not! I would never lie about marrying you to the one you love, Amber.
The hero's light came to you in a dream, and they're like, "By the way, you can also marry people."
Yes,
Oh,
They
all
did.
right.
I do
All right,
have
I
a
guess I'm wrong.
ceremony.
I
I
mean,
do have
we've got a
ceremony now.
god with us now, so I feel like Pops could marry us under the.
I'm not sure
Oh,
that's
Religion of
legit.
Pops.
I'm not sure that's legitimate, you know?
We should just all get married to each other. That way, if
Oh.
any of us die, we legally have each
Have-
other's stuff.
Yeah. That would
Pass.
simplify.
Anyway, and Ferric like reaches under their robe and pulls out this like there's like some shuffling, and then they pull out like a it's like a deluxe fanny pack. It is just a leather wrap that is full of Ferric's like incense and various like little ceremonial dolls for as like simulations of bodies to be burned and various different stuff, and it's just a ceremonial pack, and they kind of like slap it down on a rock.
All right, here's my idea. A lot of us have like dreams and experiences every night, right? Sometimes our dreams tells us stuff that are a little bit weird. Exactly, Pkelz. You don't. So how can we force that to happen in a non-sleeping way?
Are you wanting to get Pkelz really, really high so that
I
she
mean-
can hallucinate more memories of the?
Exactly.
Okay, I'm just clarifying. Thank you. That helped a great deal.
I'm inducing a form of dream instead.
Hmm. Well,
Y'all can say no. I'm trying to think of how do we get more stories out.
I mean,
Well-
how would we also know that these are
real.
authentic or just trips?
Good question.
What if the little man takes over? And I'm
That's
just little
even better.
evil man Pkelz.
That's honestly that's best case scenario.
That's best case scenario.
Could I try something, Pkelz?
I mean, go for it.
I'm
The
gonna
worst that
cast
could happen at this point.
Detect Good and Evil. I don't know if it will work. I mean, I don't think it will work. Adalia thinks it might work. I know if there's an aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead within 30 feet. And also I know if there's a place or an object within 30 feet of you that has been magically consecrated or desecrated. Like, has something happened to Pkelz that has, like, that this magic can detect?
I don't think any of that falls under Pkelz' circumstances.
Okay.
Pkelz the desecrated.
I mean, I don't know, man. She's dreaming of, like, Eric the Terror's sacrificial moment with the crystals. That's
Right.
pretty desecrated to me.
Is Pkelz officially undead as well?
Yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to know.
No, she's definitely not undead.
Technically, no, by raw rules.
Mm.
As in, I don't
I'm
think
just a
it's-
humanoid.
No.
However, Ferric does sparkle
It's
in
fake.
your eyes.
Yes. Adalia just kind of smiles a little stupidly at Ferric for a minute and then kind of shakes herself out of it. Well, that didn't work, but good news, Pkelz, darling. You're not an aberration.
Yay.
Yay! That's right. We'll take the wins where we can get them, you know?
Is that a concern?
I
It would
mean,
be.
it would be a
Okay.
concern, but you're not, so everything's fine.
Lots of things have happened to you, Pkelz, and we just want to
Get you really
celebrate the
high.
victories where we can.
That was a
Alright.
lot of different answers at the same time. Get me really high or make sure I'm okay.
I mean, not that we're getting you really high, but were we to do that, it would be to make sure you're okay.
Pretty sure I'm not okay. So it would be more just figuring out how I'm not okay, less making sure that I'm okay, because I'm pretty sure I'm not. There's a little evil man in my head. Maybe.
Is it possibly? What if Pkelz just channeled the sentience of the necrotic crystal, the dark crystal?
Ambrose, we have been over this.
Pkelz is gonna focus really hard. I don't know on what. She's just gonna start focusing really hard.
Nothing happens.
Must I remind you, Ambrose? The crystal itself is not inherently evil. Decay is a very natural process, just like birth, just like death, just like farting. It is simply an act of nature. It is not the crystal itself, it is those who seek to wield it.
And I agree. I'm not disagreeing with you whatsoever. Just a theory of maybe there's a connection to what happened to Pkelz, and also just the fact that a big event could have captured that moment.
Perhaps he's been gone for a while. Should we go look for him? Or are we getting me really high and just hoping he's not lost?
We're
He's
getting
old.
really
I'm
high.
kind of worried.
I thought you thought he was a god, Pkelz. Do you really
Gods
think
can
he's
get
going to
lost. Yeah.
That's fair.
I do
Should we
think
look?
about this time he would be on the distance coming up the trail. I don't know if you would tell them that you ran back into Scamandius, but that's what you've been doing.
Right. No, I think when I would get back into the tree igloo, I would just sit down near the campfire. I would see that they're all kind of huddled on one side, and Ravenel is over in the corner sharpening his sword. So I'd sit down next to the campfire near Ravenel, and I would sort out my clay and start adding more water to some to get it more kind of a slushy consistency, and I'd start kneading the other and getting ready to make some pottery out of it.
So, Ferric, did we just roll this, or how do we get this going?
I mean, Pkelz, would you like to partake?
I mean, if I go crazy and start killing people, it's your fault.
Fair.
We are here to manage. And
You've got fragile bird bones.
harsh. Real, but harsh.
Wow.
And there's various little dried mushrooms, and there's chamomile and catnip and dragon's tongue and all these little herbs that end up going into this, and Ferric pours a little bit of alcohol in it to grind it up and make a kind of tincture, and then hands it over.
I guess Pkelz will take it. I will say she has advantage against diseases and poisons. So whether this works or not is completely up to you, Cody.
Double the dose.
Stop! You're out of control, man. That was just
You
Katie,
double
not
the
Adalia. Before Pkelz gets too far into anything, Pkelz, I have some magic that might help me see what you're seeing or hear what you're hearing, but I wouldn't want to use it if it would.
I'll go for it. If I have to suffer, you can too.
I just want to make sure I have your consent. I understand it can be a little invasive.
I have a little band in my head. What's more invasive than that?
Right.
Good point.
So
Why you got it
Adalia's
sleeve?
sitting. I've got detect thoughts.
Uh,
So I was thinking if she gets like real deep in a hallucination and like isn't making sense, maybe I can just zap in there and try to help translate it. And I also have lesser restoration sitting over here. One or the other, baby, depending on how this situation goes.
I walk to Traileys and hey, we're getting Pkelz really high. Get some more stories out of her. So just a heads up.
Great. I assume she's doing this of her own volition and all of that.
Of course.
Wonderful. I hope that she regales us.
I hope so too.
were you gonna give Pkelz a double dose or just the one dose?
Ferric makes a double dose and pours out half of it for themselves.
Oh,
God, here we go.
No.
This is going to be interesting.
all right. Well, I think we will take a little break there.
Oh,
When we come back, we'll have Pkelz and Ferric's drug trip.
Right.
Great.
For everybody listening at home, we are live every Sunday, or every other Sunday. Live every other Sunday, 7 p.m. EST. Come jump in, check it out. We'd love to have you. For everyone listening now, we'll be back in like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So, see y'all
Yeah.
then.
Bye.
Ambrose, it's too foggy in here.
Sorry, I put it up. I'll put it up.
Come on.
Sorry about
Full
that.
cloud again, Ambrose? Are we being attacked? Again?
No, we're not.
Then what's
What-
happening?
What's going on? Why is it so smoky?
I put something in my pocket. Nothing. There's nothing.
Oh,
What's that thing? Are you tinkering with something new?
Yeah, it's just a little invention I'm working on. That's all. Ferric, is that a letter?
Oh my god. It must have somehow found its way in my hands. It's
You
addressed.
really are a strange bunch.
It's addressed to the Vape King. Which among us is the Vape King?
Ambrose, do you have something you need to tell us?
I proclaim myself as the Vape King. It's me, the Vape King.
I'm so
Ambrose
proud
was
of you, Ambrose.
Exactly.
Declare your best self.
Thank you.
Well, I guess this letter's for you.
Oh, well, thank you, Vape King. Because I'm the Vape King.
Welcome to the crew, Vape Gang. Welcome back, everyone, to the second part of this week's episode of Power Word Fail, episode 54. On the first part, we joined the failures as they woke in the morning from their camp where they had the... What did you call that, Atreides?
Oh, the Memoria Revelare.
Yeah. They awoke after the night where they told their Memoriam Revelare and began their traveling into the deeper part of Ordomall and the concurrent theocracy on their way to Everton. Along the way, it began to show signs of rain, and they eventually encountered a bridge as it began to rain a little bit harder. Pkelz' expert cart skills was able to get them across the bridge, but on the other side they found a strange bald man named Scamandius who beseeched them for help, slaying monsters in a ruin to the north in the mountains. They gave him a whole bunch of gold and advised him to probably not be a monster slayer and go back home. And then they went on their way as the rain continued to really start to pour. Eventually, Adalia created them a little forest igloo with plant growth and her survival skills, and they began to camp for the night. While camping, Atreides went out to find some clay and ran back into Scamandius, who seemed to be following them sort of at a distance. He said he was going to Everton instead of back home. Back at camp, the failures had sort of circled Pkelz and began hammering her about her memories. And that is where we will pick back up. You have just decided to give Pkelz a dose of psychedelic drugs that should give her some sort of vision. And Theric said he would do some with her as a vision guide. And that is where we will pick back up. So, I guess,
Ambrose.
how did you want to do this?
Ambrose,
What's up?
there is no way that I will be able to guide Pkelz.
I know you're lying. I have never heard of a vision guide. I know this BS.
Oh dear.
I'm gonna be here and it's gonna be cool and I'm going to, have my own experience.
I'm proud of you, but
But, I can't get in Pkel's head to
Right.
help guide Pkelz.
What?
What? Nothing. Hey, Pkelz! Here,
Adalia
This is for you. Here you go.
starts, rubbing between her eyes a little bit, but also gathering up like bedrolls and stuff so that they have a nice, comfortable place to have this very intense trip, apparently.
Do I just eat it? Drink it? I don't really do those anymore.
Repeat after me. Kayamak,
Kaimak
envela.
blah.
Envela.
And blah.
It means
Oh.
down
we're
the
done.
hatch. And Ferric is going to wrap their arm around Pkel's arm and tip back with their little mortar and pestle.
You take 7
And-
necrotic damage.
I forgot about that.
7's a lot.
Oh, goodness.
God, you're so pokey.
You didn't give me a warning. Not that I could control it anyways, but we could have put a piece of fabric. Okay, right, drink it.
You're my sharpest friend.
Well, that's cool. Pkelz just down it. All right, go on a vision
All right.
quest trip.
Pkelz, it takes some time, but eventually
Nothing's
you
happening.
start to feel woozy.
I don't feel so good.
You start to see like tracers and everything starts to get wobbly. The light starts to look really, really bright.
Great.
It feels like it would be best if you would just close your eyes.
I'm gonna close my eyes, but I can't actually sleep at all. So the light is bright and it hurts.
Adalia like carefully
Fall backwards.
guides her down onto her bedroll.
Don't touch me.
I have my gloves on, dear.
No, it's just touch feels weird right now.
Understood.
Those who are perceptive enough would hear some rustling from behind you all,
Mhm.
and Ferric is like shaking a sapling.
Darling,
What? Yeah.
what are we doing over here?
Oh, it's Oof. You're really pretty.
Oh, thank you, Ferric.
Oh,
I think you're very pretty also.
you ever want to eat a leaf so good that it was like the best leaf you ever ate?
You know, not yet, but I experience new things with you every day, so maybe another time. Have you ever wanted to lay down and take a nap by this fire?
Sure.
Yeah.
And
Perfect.
kind of like their feet like plop in the mud as they walk over to Pkelz, and they're like, Pkelz! All right, so this is going to be really fun. What you're going to do is
I can't.
God, Ferric falls back.
There's like two of them and one of them's floating. I can't do that.
No, it's fine.
I can't
Pkelz,
float. I can't go in the
you're-
air.
You're
I mean, I
all
could try.
right.
Do you think I should try to go in the air?
Perhaps not right now.
Okay. It's too bright up there, anyways.
Mm.
What am I supposed to be doing?
Well, Ambrose, what is the plan here?
Attune to yourself, Pkelz. Just sit down.
Can I attune to
relax.
Pokey? He would really
No.
help me. He would be
No.
a great spirit guide.
Absolutely
He
not.
would join me. Ferric abandoned me.
Oh no, Ferric's right here.
Pkelz. Hold my.
Look, he's
hold
guiding
my
you.
hand. Hold my hand. Ow! Fuck!
I got gloves on. Wait.
Hold on.
I touched your wrist a little bit. Come here.
I put on a healing turret right beside Ferric so they can hold hands. So I'll be healing him while taking damage at the same time.
Oh,
Wow.
that's better. That's good. That's good. All right.
It's the best I can do.
Sort of a
Oh,
neutralizer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Atreides
so-
would confer quietly with Ravino, and I imagine Ravino would move toward the exit of the igloo and just take up a post there.
Sure.
So we are going to inhale.
Is that Ravenar or Tarsian?
It's.
I can't tell. Is that Ravenar?
It's
Ravenous.
Ravenous.
It's
Are you
Ravenous.
sure?
Yes. Yes.
Should I try to
Don't-
stab him to make sure?
Do not freak out. Do not freak out. Breathe in.
His scar just keeps going in and out.
Breathe in.
I don't breathe.
Oh, fuck.
Out. Count to 10. Slowly.
Count to 10 and sink into the earth.
Okay.
3,
7.
2,
Oh, down.
1.
2.
And Ferric like sinks into the earth.
Pkelz, roll a Constitution save.
That's a 13. That's actually a really bad roll for her.
Yeah, it is actually, huh?
Yeah, she's got a +8.
Dang.
Pkelz, yeah, it seems like it's really starting to take effect. Like when he says sink into the earth, you feel like you sink into the earth.
Holy shit.
And everything's dark. You feel like you can't open your eyes. You see yourself, but you are playing cards with your brother. You look at the hand you're holding, and it's all of your friends as playing cards. You look across the table at your brother, and it's just monsters in his hands. You see, like, the zombie holder, a dragon, all kinds of things that you've encountered on your path. And then he looks up at you and says, "Hey, you're cheating! Get out of here!" And just like that, the vision's gone. Your things are swirling. You see yourself painting, but you're painting in not your style. You're painting a beautiful man. It's like hyper realistic, one of the best paintings you've ever drawn. It's in a very lavish bedchamber with a 4-post bed with all kinds of red drapery. And you look around the painting and you see you're painting that nasty old wizard.
Oh no.
You look back at the painting and he looks great. But you look back around and he's starting to blush. And he's like, "I'm getting embarrassed the way you look at me."
Guys, I don't like this.
Has Pkelz' eyes rolled back?
Yeah,
Her
they're
eyes
kind
are
of darting
closed,
around doing that like REM thing.
Mm-hmm. Adalia, do it now. What are your thoughts?
All right, Pkelz. I'm going to cast that spell we talked about. All right, darling?
He's naked.
Detect
Do it now.
Yeah, Pkelz, I imagine you'd feel very confused.
I don't know why that's not... Here, I'll throw the... Cast on VGT. Did that work so that you can read the spell? Still no. Alright, so basically I can detect her surface thoughts, no problem. I have to, like, probe deeper to really get what's going on in her head, and normally she'd have to make a wisdom save, but I'm hoping she doesn't have to because she consented to the spell. It doesn't
Right.
say that, though, in the wording.
I would think that as you're reading her thoughts,
Mm-hmm.
you would sense Pkelz being very confused, but also very happy to be painting this person.
Okay.
You would sense, as you try to go deeper, some sort of force trying to resist you.
Ooh!
So Pkelz,
Could-
go ahead and roll a save.
What kind of save is it?
Wisdom, DC 17.
Oh. That's a 4.
There we go. That's what we're looking for.
And what's the save?
17.
17.
Oh, 17. Oh, yeah, it fails. All right. Let's see. You can also use this spell.
So if it fails, I gain insight into the person's reasoning, if any, its emotional state, something that looms large in its mind, and I can ask it questions, which might ask the person questions. It keeps saying it, which sounds very dehumanizing.
Sure.
Ask the person questions, and it will naturally shape the course of their thoughts.
So you're the spirit guide.
I'm the spirit guide now, baby.
Yeah. You can tell that Pkelz loves this old wizard.
Oh.
Can I tell
I mean,
what
look
kind
at
of
the
love?
picture. He looks like super handsome in the picture. Just don't look back there.
Can I tell
like
what kind
romantic
of
love.
Romantic love. Pkelz, how do you know this wizard?
I mean, obviously, I just know him because he's here and he's naked, so I don't.
Cody, does anything else pop out?
Pkelz, roll another wisdom save.
Actually, it's intelligence now.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it can use. It can use.
Shit.
Oh shit! But it's contested against my intelligence, which isn't that great. So you'll probably still.
Got an 18 with a -1
Yeah.
modifier.
That is a crazy roll.
Wow. Hang on. Is it my intelligence?
Why are you asking shit about my boyfriend, Adalia? Got your own.
So it's just an intelligence check. Sorry, I wasn't actually prepared for resistance because, oh yeah, you poofed me right out of there.
Yeah, you feel something resist the prying.
Mm-hmm.
Especially at that question.
Okay.
And you feel hatred.
Oh, did I upset someone?
Are you
I'm
saying this
casting-
out loud?
I'm narrating.
Okay.
So Adalia would narrate all of that to everyone. Basically explain. Pkelz seems to be painting someone. I believe it's the wizard from the from Kelvin's painting and from the memory. I'm going to push a little harder, and then she asks the question, and then she gets kind of like flung back a little bit.
Adalia.
Ow.
Attune
Yes.
to the decay crystal form. And grab her hand and ask the question.
Okay. I will take. Hang on.
In
My
Pkelz' dream, she's giving the old man like fruit to hold.
perfect. I will take one of my crystalline shapes, and I will go with the decay crystal, which means I can transfer some hit points to someone else,
Probably Ferric.
which I'm absolutely giving to Ferric. I just have to decide how much I'm giving Ferric. And then, as my secondary thing, I'm also going to give myself temporary hit points, just in case.
Well, I can give everyone temporary hit points with my turn too, so it's up there for an hour.
Well, I mean, I don't have a lot else going on right now, so
Mhm.
I'm just gonna do it just in case. So Ferric will get 14 temporary hit points.
Yay!
Yay!
Nice.
And I will get temporary hit points equal to 8 plus my druid level, which is 6. Hang on. Doing some math. So that's 7 damage, 8 plus 6. Okay, I gotcha. And I have 14 temp. Okay. So then, now I am in my decay crystal form. So Adalia, as she's doing this, Adalia starts having like dark. I mean, there can't be black light, but sort of like flecks of darkness with like green but like not the nice, beautiful green when she casts plant growth earlier, like sickly green with dark flecks in it. Kind of goes all through her hands or through her tattoos, and she puts one out to Ferric, and as the light leaves her fingers, it turns white, and Ferric heals a little bit from that necrotic damage. And then Adalia kind of takes a deep breath, and she's going to cast Detect Thoughts again.
All right.
And touch Pkelz.
Do you want to
As she does
ask the
it.
same question, or did you want to go in a different direction?
Oh no, I want to ask the same question. So that's a Wisdom saving throw DC 18. Or sorry, 17.
That's a 19.
Silvery barbs.
What? Okay.
Do it, Adalia.
You want me to do it? I guess I could. I wasn't even thinking of that. Yeah, I'll silvery barbs up.
Nice. All right, yeah, re-roll it, Pkelz.
Okay. That's a net one.
Nice.
Ah,
There we go.
All right.
So Adalia's suddenly back in Pkel's head, holding her hand in the real world while decay crystal magic flows through Adalia. And when she feels Pkel's try to resist, she like pushes harder with all of that light and gets the nat one. Pkelz.
Yeah, you feel something try and resist you, Adalia, but then you cast that spell and Pkelz, everything goes white for a moment, and when you come to, you're blinking your eyes, you're sitting on the throne. Your father approaches and says, "Your Majesty, your new court wizard has arrived. May I introduce you to Vinny Utmaf?" And he bows, and he is a very handsome, middle-aged man.
Very handsome middle-aged man.
He kind of
Where'd he come from?
smiles. "Oh, I come from Mornstead. I'm born and raised."
Good. Good.
He
A lot to talk
smiles
about.
and says, "I did not expect to be working so closely with the king himself.
Scandalous.
I think this is the beginning of a beautiful relationship. Friendship."
Relationship.
All right. I want another intelligence check from Pkelz because I'm gonna ask another question.
That's a 6.
Ooh, that was a nat 20, which is so wasted on this situation. All right, so I hang on to it. Pkelz, tell me what this wizard wanted with the crystals.
Do I know I'm Pkelz right now?
Probably
Yeah,
not.
I mean, there's like a bleeding of the lines for sure. Like your father looked like Pkel's father.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha. And what'd you ask? What he wants with the crystals?
What he wanted with the crystals, like from the first memory you shared. She's basically asking for context for that previous memory. Like, what was this guy doing?
I mean, wasn't the crystals to destroy the elves?
I don't think Adalia would know that.
Oh. Yeah. Crystals were to destroy the elves, to take them down. To make them go boom.
You have a memory of being in the war room and Vinny Utmaf looking particularly good with his long hair down over the map.
Super attractive.
He kept wiping out of the way, being like, "You see, they're going to attack us from this flank."
Sorry, I was distracted by your hair.
He twists his mustache. "Well, I was distracted by yours as well."
You're welcome.
And he's
Adalia.
Adalia's thinking, like, is this what Varric and I are like? Gross.
He motions for the guards to leave, and he's like, "I think we have some private matters to discuss."
Yeah, we have to talk about the people coming in from the west. Yeah.
And then he, gets really close and starts saying some really creepy stuff about how the elves are gonna kill
Adalia
us all.
kind of, like, pulls back out of this memory. One more question, and then I'll let you rest if you want to. How did all of this end? Your relationship with this wizard? Intelligence check?
Yeah.
It's just a check, right? Is that supposed to be a save?
Yeah, it's just a
Okay,
check.
because then it's even worse. All right, it's a 4.
That's a 9. Not great, but still good enough.
Yeah, you see it. It's really trying to fight. But you seem to have the better of it. you can only sense a lot of these surface emotions about the love and the hate and all that. Pkelz, of course, is getting a bit of more front row seat.
Mm-hmm.
Pkelz, she asks that question, how did this all end? And you enter a darkness from the map room. You find yourself back in the throne room, except you're hurt. There is a very large gaping wound in your side.
I don't like this at all.
You are bleeding all over the throne.
I hold Pkelz' hand a little tighter in real life.
Vinny Utmath kind of runs in and says, "We don't have much time. My plan will succeed, but you have to make the ultimate sacrifice. Allow me to use your life force to complete the ritual."
I
It's the
mean,
only
anything
way.
for you. Of course. Anything you wish.
And he smiles a wicked smile and grabs your hand delicately and helps you up. And he says, "We'll complete the ritual in the bedchambers." And then you fall to your knee and say, I don't think I'm going to make it to the bedchambers. And then he says, "Well, then we'll have to finish this quickly." And he pulls out a twisted, gnarled dagger, and he just steps behind you and quickly slits your throat. And he grasps at the blood spilling everywhere. And as you fade into darkness, he starts chanting something in an unknown language, ancient script, and he begins to wipe the blood across his face and lick the fingers as you fade into nothingness. And then you have a bit of a vision where you're just wandering around the throne room. It seems like ages are passing. People are coming, going, coming, going. It's really like a blur. And you're just kind of sitting there on the throne, watching as this all unfolds. Nothing that you can do about it. And then you wake up. The oppressive
Adalia's
feeling is over.
weeping and yoinks back out of all of this and immediately casts Lesser Restoration on Pkelz, which should cure the poisoned condition, which I'm assuming is what magic mushrooms are. Mechanically
Makes sense to me.
speaking.
Yeah, drugs are poison.
Well,
You okay?
no. Why did you let me do that?
I didn't know. And Adalia's gonna hug Pkelz, even though it'll probably hurt.
She's gonna resist. She just got her throat slit.
Adalia turns and glares daggers at Ambrose.
I died.
I just nod. Like,
No.
yes. That was fantastic work, Adalia.
I was so in love that I died.
I'm so sorry.
I'm very confused.
What can we do?
I don't know. I'm in love with the little man in my head, but I'm not. Well, no, I am the little man in the head. I'm in love with the evil wizard. There's a lot that just happened. Also, I really feel like I need to finish that painting. I'm really mad that I didn't finish it.
Do you want to paint now? Would it help?
Probably. I'm gonna go
And-
do that and sit by myself for a
Okay.
while. And Pkelz is just gonna like collect her paints, and she's just gonna go through and spend basically the rest of the night painting through the various scenes that she saw.
I don't know if this would affect your decision to be alone or not, Pkelz, but as you're like gathering your paints, you would see that Atreides has shaped the stiffer clay into a cup and is putting the runnier clay around it and then carving it into different patterns. Like paint, although right now it's just one color.
Yeah, she might go sit next to Pops, because Pops had nothing to do with this.
Yeah, he was just kind of listening and his eyes like widened at different points, but otherwise he's just working on his art.
She'd probably just walk up and not say anything, just like plop on the floor right next to him, and then paint both beautiful and hideous scenes right next to him the whole time.
Just
You
look
okay,
over and
Farrah?
nod.
What was that?
Are you okay,
Are you
Varric?
okay?
Ferric's paws and talons kind of spread out and push into the soil as they slowly start to come back into their body. And they're just going to say, "Water, please."
Adalia's been making tea and has just dropped tea and a good berry off with Pkelz and Atreides and Ravenna. And she brings a cup over to Ferric.
Ferric sits
Welcome
up
back, darling.
and takes a sip. And as Adalia kind of darlings them, they like sip the tea and reach a hand out and like pet Adalia's face.
Adalia has clearly been crying.
Ozorokaya, what is wrong?
Nothing now. But Pkelz.
Pkelz, where's Pkelz? I'm not holding
She's
Pkelz' hand.
fine. No, she's fine. I think she wants to be alone, darling. It was not. I don't think she enjoyed the mushrooms quite as much as you did. You hydrate. We can talk
then
about it
It
when
was
your head is clear.
it was
Successful.
successful.
Very successful.
I mean, yes, but it caused Pkelz a great deal of pain.
Very successful.
Do we want to be successful if it means hurting someone we care about that much?
If
You have
it
to
means
resolve the problem.
if it means to end suffering long term, discomfort now is better than pain forever.
I know that, but I don't know that Pkelz understood what she was agreeing to. We aren't
Neither.
doing that again until everyone is extremely clear what it means. Alright?
Ferric nods.
Adalia's gonna take her tea and go sit by herself for a while and just stare at the fire and think.
Ambrose has a little smirk on his face of like, yeah, we
An
got somewhere,
asshole.
but I'm hiding it a little bit. I'm like, put the cloak over my body, be a little bit more visible, and then I just walk.
I didn't say anything.
All right. Well, as far as watches and such go, I already rolled for that, and everything seems to go pretty smooth. At the very end of the night, the storm begins to relent, and it is just a drizzle by the time you guys wake up. You think there's probably another day on the road, and you could reach Everton by nightfall.
Great.
I am
You pack up
unpreparing.
camp.
Unpreparing detect thoughts. I don't want to do that again for a while.
All right. Yeah, I guess I get that. I don't blame you. So yeah, you pick up camp and head out. Anything you'd like to do or say or thing along the way or before you leave?
Yeah, just quickly before we leave, I would call Ferric over to the campfire. Ferric, I don't have access to a potter's wheel, so this cup is not as nice and not as smooth as I could have made it with better equipment. And I hold out the cup, and it's like indented a little bit, like it's got texture from fingers messing with it instead of like the smooth texture that a wheel could get it. In order to bring the pictures to fruition, it's supposed to be heated by a kiln. And I know you're not the right kind of kiln,
Wow.
but it still works. And so I'm wondering, do you think you could help me stoke the flames around this cup and bring the artistic qualities out of it?
Ferric nods, and you see kind of excitement bristle around Ferric's neck. I think as someone who plays music and being part of another kind of creative process is exciting to Ferric. And they have the idea, there's like an idea that flashes over their head, and they're going to go and take 2 of the cast iron pots that we have for
Perfect.
cooking and place one on top of the other to kind of create a shell. Do you think this will work?
As well as we can with makeshift equipment. I think that's a brilliant idea.
And yeah, as you would kind of guide Ferric to do so, if there needs to be more heat, Ferric would very happily cast a heat metal to increase the temperature of this makeshift kiln.
Perfect. So we need to get it really hot and then even hotter. And so when we get to that like extra heating, I'll use gust of wind to stoke everything like it billows.
Wow.
And at the end of it, when it all calms down, we have produced a black glaze in parts where I carved the slurry clay and an orange glaze everywhere else. And it's antlers wrought with acorns, symbolizing your friendship with the squirrels. And I will present you your very own cup.
Ferric takes it gently with these gnarled, elongated bear claws, and as they extend their arms to take it, it's probably the first time that you see their burns on their arms where their wings once were, and they're going to pull the cup up to their chest. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, friend.
And Ferric's gonna kind of like look up and like blink for a second, and then like pull you in for a hug.
Oh,
Atreides will hug you.
cute.
Big Goliath embrace.
Maybe I was wrong about you, Pops. Maybe you will be a god one day.
Oh, well, thank you, Ferric. I hope that cup serves you well.
Hey guys, look! I got the cup.
Oh, congratulations, darling.
What should
Oh,
I
that's a
drink
nice
out of
cup.
it first?
You could save it for a special occasion.
Oh, special occasions. I'm so impatient. This
Well-
is a conundrum.
We did wake up today and we're all still here, which is a somewhat special occasion for us. Perhaps you could have your coffee in it.
Living is quite a special occasion. And Ferrick's going to look down very solemnly, and then back up with excitement. Let me go get the pot. And runs over and starts making coffee for everyone.
Very nice. So yeah, after you guys have some coffee and breakfast, pick up camp and head out, you make your way down the road. Your cart is pretty smooth going. It is a little muddy, but the road seems to be, back into somewhat of a state of repair now that you're outside of the forest line there. It's not like perfect like when you were inside Ordomall, but it seems to be like it's actually been like somewhat repaired. Like it's almost like more like cobblestone now. Like there's like patches where it's been filled. Roll a perception check, everybody.
Can I guide someone as well, or is this just kind of a reactive?
It's a 19 for Pkelz.
Natural 1.
Yeah, it was just kind of a reactive thing.
Okay, sure. Well, 27 for Atreides.
Ugh, 10 for Adalia, but her passive perception is 23.
Pkelz also would have probably asked Pops to be on the cart with her
18 for
and driving
Ferrick.
off. Probably the three of them.
Atreides, as you get down the road a little bit, for getting over a 25, you will see Scamandius walk out of the woods.
God.
Guy!
Guys, and I'll just jerk my head back to make everyone else aware of him.
Don't stop.
He is lagging behind you guys a little bit, but he did seem to be kind of like, he started moving around the same time you guys started moving. You're gaining ground on, like you're getting ahead of him significantly with your wagon, but he definitely seems like he's following you.
I don't know what his game is. Just want you all to be aware. He's following us.
I mean, should we just stop and bring him? At least we'll know where he is and keep an eye on him.
He was being very dishonest with us yesterday. He was not nearly as depressed as he was pretending to be. And I'm not convinced he was ever injured.
I don't believe he was.
Do we want to bring someone like that along?
Ferrick looks at Ambrose.
No. It's fine.
And then Ferrick looks at Ambrose like, come on. And then Ferrick is going to put up their hand. Wiggle the digit that is bearing Eugene.
The Miraz ring?
Yeah.
Sure.
So do you guys really pull over and wait for him?
Apparently.
Yeah, I mean, as you guys pull over, you guys, like, are watching him. He seems like he's a little bit confused when you guys pull over. Like, his gait seems to slow a bit. But eventually, he just, like, keeps marching forward. And eventually, he, like, comes alongside you and waves and says, "Oh, hello again. Funny running into you guys here."
I thought home was in the other direction.
Yeah, it is. But I changed my mind. I'm going to Everton. What are you guys doing? Getting some lunch? I'm pretty hungry.
Why don't you eat that gold I gave you?
Yeah, I noticed that's one thing about gold is that you can't eat it.
Exactly.
You guys don't have like some bread or something I could have?
Atreides creates a ton of food for everyone for a nice lunch. Doesn't create food and water.
Wow, this is amazing.
45 pounds of food?
Yep.
That's
That's
crazy.
So much food.
Food.
Scamandius, like,
Sourdough
starts
bread
chowing
for
down.
everyone.
He starts chowing down. Yeah, he's like, "This is amazing."
I produce like a roast, like chicken, braised with rosemary and butter.
Ferric is pulling a thigh off of that thing and is like, your father is very good at this. And looks over at Pkelz.
Pkelz is ignoring everybody today.
Yeah.
Ferric
you okay?
kind of like with that non-response, like Ferric, it feels like very shameful.
As soon as Ambrose says, "Pkelz, are you okay?" she picks up the nearest food item and chucks it at his head.
Oh, all right.
Oh, she probably hits.
Probably.
I guess we can roll to hit.
Roll for an attack. Roll for.
Don't you have Tavern Brawler?
Go to. Oh, nope, never mind. Well,
Yep. Ambrose dodges.
you're
it.
lucky.
Yeah, I
Really
Matrix
cool.
dodged that chicken bone out the way.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he eats lunch with you guys, and eventually he kind of stands up. He's like, "Well, I guess I'll be on my way then. It's great seeing you guys again so soon."
I glance at everyone.
Kind of like
Well,
going to
I
his
hope Yoda
tiptoes,
travels.
going to the balls of his feet, going on his tiptoes, going to the
Right,
balls of his
right.
feet, like, yeah, it's gonna be a long walk ahead.
Just
Make
get in the
this-
goddamn cart.
Oh, you guys mean it?
I'm gonna hit you if you don't get in the goddamn cart.
All right. And he starts scrambling in. He's like, "What do you guys got back here?"
None
If
yet.
you touch any of
A
my
whole lot
shit,
of
I'm
none
gonna
yet.
kill you.
She really will.
Oh, well, maybe I should just sit in the front then, so you can keep an eye on me.
Yeah, sit right next to me. Touch me. See what happens. She's gonna start the cart.
He looks back at Perilous, who seems to be the most receptive of him, and he says, "Where should I sit? Should I just sit on the back here?"
Sit in the back, but seriously, don't go through other people's belongings. It's quite rude.
I wasn't planning on it. It just, you've got a lot of stuff in here.
All right. And I'll clap him on the shoulder and give him Bull's strength.
What are you doing, my guy? What is happening?
So he has advantage on strength checks for the next hour.
Converting him. That's what he's
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah, he's trying to convert him. I mean, he seems really pleased. He's like, "I gotta admit, I just feel better when I'm around you guys. I just feel stronger and braver, and like I could take more hits, and like I
Might it
don't
be that?
know. There might be something to what you're saying, Atreides. I
Where's
feel
your
like
own
I have a marketable, noticeable difference in my abilities when I'm near you guys." Anyways, thanks for the ride. And he just kind of sits there, twiddling his thumbs, as you make the rest of your way. Takes about the rest of your day to make it to Everton. But as night falls, you see a very large city wall, about 20 feet tall, with some very large wooden doors that are shut. And there are various guards sitting in their posts who stand to attention as you approach. You would all recognize that they are wearing similar, like, breastplates and such to Mornstead style. And they
Okay.
have flags that do not match the theocracy or Mornstead. They have a fist for a logo instead of a hand.
Is it the same one from Tarsian's armor?
No.
Oh, thank God.
Tarsian's is like a black hand of the master.
Okay.
Whereas this is like a fist.
Like outstretched.
Okay.
And what was the heraldry for like Ordomol?
It
The
is
main
also a
theocracy?
hand, but it is not a twisted, gnarled looking hand like was on Tarsian's. It's just like a flat out open palm hand.
Okay.
And usually around it is like a circle with like lines going off of it for
Or like a
flag.
halo.
Right. Whereas
Yeah.
their fist is just a fist. It is similar colors though to the Ordomol flag. It is red fist, whereas Ordomol's is like a golden hand.
Okay.
And they kind of stand to attention and await for your approach. And as you get closer, one of them stops you and says, "Hey, up there! What you got going on in here?"
What do you mean, what do we got going on in here?
Well, we don't get a lot of travelers.
But you do get travelers.
Not a lot.
But some. Such as us. Me and my friends. We're on our way north. Is that right, everyone?
Yes.
We're on our way here because our friend died and his mom's here. We gotta talk to her and tell her. Can we please go in?
One of them's like, looks at the other one, they say something to each other. Who's your friend? What's your friend's name?
It's the Stonehalt.
And they look at each other for a moment and say, "Alright, so maybe there are some stone hearts in here."
There are definitely some Stonehalts in there.
Our friend's name was Christopher. We merely wanted to give our regards to his family. We're not even sure they know.
Quite noble pursuits.
Yes? Is that bad?
They talk to each other for a moment and say, "Alright, well, we're gonna let you in then. Does that sound alright to you lot?
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, don't you be causing any trouble in here.
Certainly
What
not.
do you think of it?
We've got very strict laws.
What are your top 3 strictest laws?
No murder,
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
no stealing,
Okay.
no crime."
Okay. Well,
Can you be a little more specific about the crime?
And they whisper to
We
each
won't
other.
do any crime.
Alright, see, that's what I like to hear. No
Scout's
crime
honor.
is.
Also,
Mhm.
he isn't with us. We found him on the
Oh,
road.
yeah.
So
This guy is an
I
idiot.
want to make sure that we are not held responsible for any crime that this person might.
Do you want him?
Do you,
You can
want
have
him?
him.
He, like, waves at the guards. And they shrug and say, "I don't know that guy." Alright, so you're all coming in. Are you vouching for him? You're saying you're not
No.
vouching for him.
no.
No, not
So
at
he
all.
can't come in.
All
Okay.
right.
He could stay with you then.
Scamantius, what are the first 4 letters of your name?
SKAM.
Okay. It would have been really funny if it was something else.
Because if your name just spells scam,
He shrugs and he's like, I guess. What is that?
wow.
Scam?
We can call you Scammy.
I
We're not calling
I
him
don't know if I
anything.
like
We're
that
leaving
name.
him at the door.
If we trace it back, his name does come from the celestial root for deception.
All right. Thank you, guardsmen. We are going in. We'll just leave Scammy here with you.
No, yeah, you can leave him outside that door there.
Perfect.
Okay.
All right, make your way in with your cart. And you guys go in, and as soon as you go in, they begin to shut the door in Scamandius' face. And he's like, guys! Guys! Hello? It's dark out here! Hey! And then the door shuts. And I think that's where we'll leave for the night.
Okay.
You made it to Everton. You
We're
abandoned
in Everton.
Scamandius. I don't know why you would do that. That's so terrible.
My guy.
We
My
gave him a
dude.
ride. We were nice.
We gave him a ride. It's not our fault he couldn't get inside.
You didn't help him get into the city.
No!
Parsying
He's
us
got.
and then expect us to love strangers.
Exactly.
You want us to vouch for some guy
He
named...
has 50
Scam?
gold that he can bribe those guards
Right.
with.
Yes.
It's so hard for me because I have no like stigma against strangers. The whole Tarsian thing. So
Yeah.
Mm.
That is
I just
very
don't like
true.
him.
Well, thank you everybody for joining me. Thank you everybody for playing. Thank you listeners and watchers for listening and watching. We're live every other Sunday on YouTube, 7 p.m. EST. So if you're listening to this, you could always come check us out live. And otherwise, we'd love to hang out with you. Come check us out on Discord, discord.gg/the Homebrew Podcast. We have a really awesome community growing, so come, jump in, check it out. Tell me what you think of Scamandius or Pkelz' drug trip. There's got to be something in here that's worth you hitting us up. If you got a few extra golden turds sitting around, hit up our Patreon, patreon.com/the Homebrew Podcast, for just 2% of a golden turd, which is equal to $2 US. You can get access to all kinds of cool stuff on our Patreon. So yeah, go check it out. We've got PDFs, shoutouts, all kinds of stuff. This live show is a Homebrew live show, and our sponsor is fanrolldice.com. Go get yourself some dice. Use promo code Homebrew at checkout for 10% off everything on the whole website. And make sure to check out all our other shows. We've got the Homebrew just started up its campaign. Campaign 2, Episode 3 just dropped today, Sunday, for everyone who's listening after in post. Sanity Damage is getting ready to go live. When was that going live again, Nathan? It was going live on the...
August 17th. It was going to be
August
this week, but we had to push it back a little bit. Yeah. So
Yes.
about a
That's
month
correct.
from now.
Yep. Keep your ears open. We'll make sure to be hitting up your, alerts and stuff like that. If you're subscribed to our YouTube, you'll know. But make sure to check that out. And then World Weavers is going to come back soon, too. So soon we'll have a full streaming schedule, just ready to hit you up whenever you're ready. But until then, remember everyone that you are loved. You are as loved as much as Scamandius loves a handout. You are as important as a spirit guide shaman on a deep drug trip of the soul. I don't recommend attempting those without one. And you matter. You matter as much as you matter as much as Pkelz' clutch cart skills when it came to that bridge. Because I was going to be really rough on you guys if none of you guys knew how to operate a cart. But until then, everyone, we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Love you.
Yeah.
Bye.